They'll be calling you a radical, a real important video. So, as you know, Russian intelligence has come out, and well, you can't make heads or tails of it now. Is it American intelligence, U.S. intelligence, Russian intelligence? I don't know. Maybe we can ask Edward Snowjob. Oh, where's he at? He said the top of the CIA was global. I mean, I'm confused. So anyway, one of the intelligence officers in Ukraine or Russia has said that Russia has mined the spent fuel pools. Now, what does that mean? It's important. Why would that be of concern? You know what mining means. You know, you step on a mine, the three-legged chair in Geneva when I got chased out. So they've got them tripped, they claim. If they touch them, they'll blow. Well, why is that a big deal? It's where they got to have water. Oh boy, do they have to have water. So if the water runs off the spent fuel pools, well, that doesn't take much of an earthquake to do that, does it? No. TikTok, Diablo. So no one will even talk about this nuclear energy. So we're going to talk about Bobby Kennedy Jr. And this is an important video, real important video, because I talked to his father when I was a boy on this campus right before he was killed. He was here. I talked to him. I've talked to him twice personally. Talked to him right there in the ballroom right there. And this has been about 20 years ago, he said, with river watchers. And I talked to him about, I brought up the Snake River and Simplot and the polluting that was going on there, and he didn't know anything about it. But he's the Hudson River guy. Remember, he was river watchers. So anyway, he's running for president. Now, the only reason I will probably vote for him, and which I probably will, is he's an anti-nuclear. He always has been. It's like his dad. Anti-nuclear energy. It's like his dad. It's like his, now this is further because his uncle, John Kennedy, gave a speech in 1963 that was really directly right to a guy like Kevin Blanch. I mean, almost like he's speaking to me. People forget about this. National televised, which he did very first in the summer of 63. No one likes you when you're 63. What's my age again? What's my age again? So, it's real important. So, he was asked yesterday in New Hampshire about nuclear energy. And he gave, if I have to hear this one more time, for whom the bell tolls. Hemingway on Balco on chemo. For whom the bell tolls. So, all these half nukers, I can't stand it. And half anti-nukers. I'm okay with the technology. What? What are you talking about? As long as, then he goes off, as long as it's safe, but it's not safe. He's got that all right. Of course it's not safe. But he still won't use the F word, Fukushima, will they? Nobody will. You know, Oliver Stone, that psychopath, comes out. And he comes out and says the worst nuclear disaster in history. Now stay with me on this. This is important stuff. Doesn't matter if we get 22 videos. It's not how many people watch. It's who's watching. For whom the bell tolls. So he says the worst nuclear energy disaster. Let's make a documentary in the year 2525 about Fukushima. Got it back after all those years. That's what I got for assisting on the HBO doc. For whom the bell tolls. So Oliver Stone says, oh my Lord, one man band Blanchism. Oliver Stone says that Chernobyl's the worst nuclear disaster. Now, okay, if I have to hear this one more time, I'm going to puke. Now, which is greater, kids? 3 or 1? You go back to freaking, it becomes as natural as occupying a bird refuge. It becomes as unnatural as unleashing zebras onto the Santa Barbara landscape, which they did. Yay, we're going to pioneer days and all from you American cowboys and cows and horse cows. What? The most unnatural thing in the freaking period ever in the history of this country. Besides us European invaders. So, which is bigger? 301. Winston, Orwell, I'm about code. 2 plus 2, it's whatever they tell you. It's 311, it's 911, it's whatever they tell you. 2 plus 2 is plus 2. By the way, I'm going to start doing more of these. 3 is greater than 1. No, it's not. No, it's not. 3 is not greater. Sorry, Blanche. Don't put the cage on my head and put the rats in it. Don't do it. I've already been in the cancer treatment unit. Had open heart surgery twice. Oh, you forgot your Fuku, little Fuku. Come on, Fuki. Easy, Fuku. There it is. So I've named him Fuku. Fuku the trash fish. Fuku, you're a little mutated, Fuku. So you're just ignoring the obvious. 18,000 becquerels of cesium-137 in the rockfish before they start dumping in the harbor. Oh, that's just in the harbor right there off Fukushima. How high is that? That's 1,800 times over the safe legal limits after they raised it. Oh, that's clear back then. Well, that's last month. How about last year? Off the coast. 1,400 becquerels per kilogram of cesium-137, short half-life, in the rockfish. You're letting a little leak, Fuku. Come on, Fuku. You're a little mutated. That's 14 times over the raised safe limits in Japan. Remember, Obama and Trump both guilty of it, raised it. So back to Bobby Kennedy Jr. So he's asked. Now I'm going to get to him. This is my next goal. I'm going to talk to him face to face. I'll pull it off, just like I did Trump, just like I'd have Mike Lee, just like I did Mitt Romney, just like I did Governor Herbert. All these, the only people on earth that's asked any serious politician about Fukushima you're looking at, which blows my mind. So he says, Bobby Kennedy Jr. says on nuclear energy, he says, well, I'm okay with the technology if you can show me it's economical and it's safe, and it's not safe. He's dead on all that. He says, and don't ask me, go to the insurance companies. Now, this is where I've got to find out if he even knows what Price Anderson. They won't insure him. But you do know who insures nuclear energy reactors. All nuclear. You do know who insures them. You do. You do. The government? You are the government, the taxpayer. This debt belongs to you. All this, you do. I'm going to ask, I don't think he knows what Price Anderson is. Now, this is historic and important because the next president is going to deal with Price Anderson. Now, Price Anderson is what we call the Immunity Act. It was a congressional act that was passed in the 50s to promote nuclear. Now, stay with me. Nuclear, the Department of Energy and the Department, which the Army Corps of Engineers spun out, well, they are what was originally called the United States Department of Nuclear, Atomic. The Atomic American, Jeff Bezos' grandfather was the spokesman. You don't believe me? Look it up. Have you seen these pictures of Bezos and his before and after? Talk about a mutation, hey? So he was born at Los Alamos. His mother was 14. Guys, his grandfather, his mom's dad, was the original. Look it up. So I don't know if Bobby Kennedy knows about hardly. I've learned along the way politicians are not very intelligent people. I talked to, that's our group that's asked Obama Domer. He was so smart. Oh, God, talk about a fraud, fool this. So, what you going to do about Hanford? This is a guy propped up by the nuclear cartel in 2008. Got to tell you, don't know what Hanford is. These guys, I deal with politicians so much in my life, and I've realized they're narcissists. They're not very intelligent. They don't know shit. And the problem is, it's just like the American reflection of the American society. You know, America, drunk on ignorance and proud of it. They're arrogant about their ignorance. So, does Bobby Kennedy Jr. know about Price Anderson? I highly doubt it. He's going to find out. So, in 2005, went off to Afghanistan to kill the Taliban. Went off to Iraq, the big old say, Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction. No, he didn't. Pat Tillman fight off 9 million gazillion. Okay, no, he didn't. Jessica Lynch earned a congressional much. She had to sue again, but no, she didn't. You know, W1 2000. No, he didn't. We can go on with all these lies. Tell me lies. Tell me sweet little nuclear lies. Come on, Fuku. Come on, Fuku. Come on, Fuku. You look a little mutated, Fuku. You're just a trash fish. You got 18,000 becquerels of cesium 137 in your flight. This is before any dumping, the dumping fallacy. So, easy, Fuku. Come on, Fuku. Fuku. So, easy, Fuku. So, I'm not going to let anybody eat you, Fuku. I'm not going to let anybody eat you. You know, the fish is banned. What? Fish swim across the ocean? What? The silver streak? Stand tuna? The tuna? What? The ocean Japanese current runs into the California current? That bridge made it to Gold Beach in 7 days and overpass. And people, what? Breaking news, fish swim. Breaking news, jet stream moves left to right. What? Fuku? Oh. Got to talk to Henry before I go to Fukushima. Hillary Clinton in 2011, when right after Fukushima, the debt first debate going to default was going on. It's going on heavily, and I had to come up with a sacrificial line. Remember, I used to do those videos. I'm the first guy. Sorry, they want to kill Bert and Ernie, which they did anyway. They handed PBS to the Koch brothers. Well, it's the Koch brother now. The other one's passed. So it came down to the food inspection right after Fukushima. This is before the emails got leaked out of Hillary. Got to talk to Henry before I go to Fukushima. Don't want to say, wash your clothes, take a shower, don't take a chance. They'd send us those emails. Barack Obama stood, I never promised you a rose garden, in the rose garden on the White House lawn on 6 days into it. The plume is coming over us right now. I'll keep you abreast. I'm going to tell you what I know. Greatest lie in human history. The greatest event. 3 is more than 1. You can go along with this Oliver Stone. The biggest nuclear disaster ever had. How many did it kill? We'll never know, right? We'll never know. But we do know on Fukushima, and 3 core melted. And the only person on Earth that told you that, the only person, me on my Nobel Prize. What did I get? Well, I got leukemia. I got split open. My heart taken out of my chest, literally twice. You know what I've been through. Take on the nuclear energy crime city. I don't think people have a clue how dangerous this is. What I do. Easy, Fuku. Easy, Fuku. They pulled the inspection. So it came down to sacrificial lamb on that first budget debate in 2011. What did they do? Look it up. They pulled the food inspection. So are you getting fish? Remember when the Japanese Fishing Alliance in Japan blocked? They had a contract with the restaurants in Manhattan, and they're the ones that stopped, not the restaurants in Manhattan. You don't think one of these rockfish or one of these fish or salmon or tuna from over there is getting into the U.S. food market? And they sit and tell you there's 18,000 becquerels. Oh, we're going to put up a net. What? 12 years later? Well, we're going to dump what? What? 3 is more than 1. Easy, Fuku. Easy, Fuku. Easy, Fuku. No one knows what it's like to take on the nuclear family like I have. But my conscience, your conscience, my dreams aren't as empty as your conscience seems to be. The countries, the politicians, they got no conscience. It's money, 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 money. My dreams aren't as empty. My shattered dreams. You're giving me. They're not as empty as your conscience. Discover. F U K U. Fuku. Discover. F U K U. Fuku. Discover. Good. Nuclear energy. Obey your nuclear master. What did I get all this punishment paying for? Because I did the unforgiven. I took on the nuclear energy crimes and told the truth. tell the truth and not bow and worship the golden calf and the money in this country. Good, Fuku. Come on, Fuku. Fuku. Easy, Fuku. You look a little mutated, Fuku. So, Fuku, the American populace doesn't realize the Pacific Ocean. Oh, it's a big place, Chris Busby said. Helen Caldecott said that Japanese were tidy people cleaned it up. What do you think, Fuku? What do you think? Arnie Gunner should sell it as hydrogen. What do you think, Fuku? You look a little mutated. It's killing all your friends. The whales, the salmon. You all live in the ocean? The ocean? The tide pool's dead. What about the starfish, Fuku? What about the starfish? They wiped out 20. Well, you should see the canine numbers right now, Fuku. I have your Chinook salmon, Fuku. Discover. F. U. Discover. F. U. K. U. Discover. My dreams ain't nearly as empty as everybody's conscience seems to be. So, Bobby Kennedy, that Jr., who I talked to right there, that's been 20 years ago. I shook his hand, Dad's hand, on this campus on October 29, 1968. It was my uncle. I was in the sewer library that day. I want a cake. I was a little boy on a field trip. My uncle saw me right over there, and he says, Kevin, you want to meet the next president of the United States? And me and my twin sister, she was sick. He said, stay, I'll take you home. He was friends with Mariner Eccles. Yeah, I got to shake his hand. That was 5 days before he gave that incredible speech, one of my favorite speeches of all time, when Martin Luther King was killed. I mean, wow. It was like less than 100 days before he was killed. I talked to him about that. He wasn't very friendly with me, and I'm not a big fan of his. But I've always said, I'm going to vote on one issue. First thing, I don't think he knows about prices. So when you were off in Iraq slaughtering people that never did anything to you, went off to Afghanistan to kill the Taliban, went off to Iraq, went off to Vietnam to kill the Viet Cong. My father was drafted. He was drafted. He was drafted. Nuked to death in the Nevada test site. And this is important, probably, because I'm going to send this to his people. My dad was the most beautiful, incredible person you ever saw. My grandma used to say he never had a cavity, he never had a cold, he never was sick in his life. He has 6 brothers and sisters. Not one of them cancer. His 3 sisters are all still alive. One of them's 98, I believe. 2 of his brothers have passed. The famous fighter pilot, Claude, just passed. He had a stroke. My other uncle, Harold, who's on Omaha Beach on D-Day, no cancer, upper 80s, famous guy, no cancer. He died of his heart went. He was old, really old. No cancer in that family. None. Zero. No cancer. None. Then he gets nuked. You think it changes everything forever, Fuku? What do you think, Fuku? Come on, Fuku. Easy, Fuku. Oh, you dropped Fuku. You all right, Fuku? You okay, Fuku? Sorry, Fuku. Then I get it. I was born mutated with a heart murmur, had all kinds of health issues. Then I get AML, the same thing. And his great-grandson gets the exact same neuroblastoma. It mutates generations forever and ever and ever and ever. Once you break the chain. Oh, we broke the chain. So he says it's not safe, which it's not. And he's right. The insurance companies won't touch it with a 10 volt. Pandora's promise, Pandora's bottle. I flipped Pandora's bottle behind. They're the ones that broke it. Pandora wasn't a box. It was a bottle. Oh, they broke it. They let the genie out. These are Einstein's words, not mine. You let this out, unleash it. It's going to change every piece of the Clyde viruses. Everything's happened post-Fukushima. You're covered up. And 3, everybody in this country, in the world, is going along with the thesis that somehow 1 is more than 3. One is more than three. You got to go with that left, Jack. One is more than three. It blows my mind. It's Orwell on Balco. Well, Orwell couldn't dream this up on a fucking hit of acid and mushrooms. Oh, he was MI6 too. Shh. Where's Winston's girlfriend? Where's Winston's girlfriend? They're gonna put the rat on my cage any day. The cage with the rats. It becomes as natural as unleashing cattle onto the Idaho, Utah wetlands of the Great Salt Lake where I live, which they do. This whole country believes somehow that one partial meltdown was a graphite core that blew up at Chernobyl, which is nasty. Gorbachev, who I met multiple times, twice, I met him twice, talked to him. What took down the old Soviet Union? Afghanistan and Chernobyl. What took down the old USA is now America. Reeling out of control, debt, psycho radical hyperinflation, crumbling infrastructure, housing crisis from hell. Freaking go buy a house if you're a billionaire, millionaire. Corrupt courts, corrupt politicians. Don't drink the fucking water. A poison food chain. I mean, what took down the old USA, now America? Afghanistan. But Fukushima. Oh, that's clear over there. What? Who's the downwinders of Fukushima? We are. So it's just a coincidence. The dead typos at your feet, it's a cult. Fuku. Is it a coincidence, Fuku? Fuku, is it a coincidence, Fuku, that the tide pool is wiped out? First, Kevin Blanche walked the whole coast. Cancer rate started to go psycho. Longevity started to go south in 2012. The heat bubble of the Western United States, all predicted by Kevin Blanche. I called it the Great Heat Dome in 2011 before it happened. Got into the trees. The plutonium fires, a country of deniers, a country of liars. Fuku, is it all coincidence? All 2012? Science doesn't get it in. Coincidence doesn't get it in science, Fuku says. What did the big fish say to the little fish? What did the 60,000 pound oil that Kevin Blanche wrote Fukushima killed me on it? What did the 60,000 pound whale say to the starfish, to Upper California purple urchin, to the anchovy, to the sardine, to the California hare, to the seal? Fukushima killed my food. What did the anchovy, the sardine, what did the sea urchin, what did the sea anemone, what did the California ochre, what did the California crimson starfish say back to the 60s? We too, we from the sea. What do you think, Fuku? I think, Fuku, you look a little mutated. Fukushima killed our food. You broke the chain. You promised you'd never break the chain. What's photoplankton? Whales are plankton feeders? Yay, I'm a whale petter at Monterey Bay. It's a cliche. Easy, Fuku. Easy, Fuku. Oh, you dropped Fuku again. Poor Fuku. You're looking a little mutated, Fuku. Sorry. Thanks for helping me out, Fuku. Go back to Mr. Rogers. I wasn't a fan of that guy. He grew up near nuclear reactors. He goes on Diane's show on NPR when they used to be a real show. You're late. Yeah, I'm sorry. Mr. Rogers had a stomach ache this morning. Mr. Rogers had a stomach ache this morning. Oh, that's terrible. I'm sad to hear that. Mr. Rogers not feeling so good. He continued and stayed and did the whole interview when he'd been told that morning he had uncurable stomach cancer and he was going to die. He still stayed on this show and did it. Right, Fuku? Fuku, you can't get to these kiddies. Maybe you can get to the next generation, but you can't get to these 70-year-old, these 60-year-old, these 80s. They're so impregnated. They're so indoctrinated. It's their pseudo facto theology. It's their pseudo facto biology. It's the ecology, stupid. What do you think, Fuku? So Bobby Kennedy says, not till it's safe, which it'll never be safe. Nobody dares use the. I'm going to get him to say the F word. Mark my words, I'll get him to talk Fukushima, but he still won't say Fukushima. And Oliver Psycho Stone, who made Natural Born Killers, who needs to go check himself into the loony bin, who also did an interview and admitted that he doesn't know much about the technology. He was relying on this guy that promoted his movie. He's a psycho. He's go check himself in the freaking old folks home and be done with it. Too bad we still don't do lobotomies in this country because he needs one. Well, fuck, half the country's on a psych drug. The whole country's. So it's all coincidence. So he says, no, but I'm okay with the half nukers. They parade them out, don't they? But any real activists, I mean, like Kevin Blanch. Whoa. You part of the cure, you part of the disease. Shoot an apple off my head. So I beg and plead. It brought me down to my knees. So in 2005, Price Anderson was to expire, the Immunity Act. The Department of Energy pumps. The Biden administration gave them $180 billion this year alone in this budget nightmare. So, Obama pro-nuker. Trump pro-nuker. So why would it have anything to do with either one of them? Biden, pro-nuker. Pro-nuker. The last anti-nuker, his dad, John Kennedy. John Kennedy, 1963, national television. He had read Rachel Carson's book. People used to call me the modern day Rachel Carson. I says, I'm not martyring myself for no one. I'm in the bone marrow transplant. I'm screaming, going, I've got the field, millions of views, millions. Boom, I get cancer. It's like she did when she took on Dow, took them all on. She was an artist, right? She was a scientist, right? She wore a lot of hats. She was best ever. John Kennedy's young wife read that book, put it on his desk. He read it. Said it changed his world. 1963, we are banning all open air tests. We are banning any nuclear testing in the Nevada test site. My dad, a drafted Marine, beautiful Marine, Air Blast 1. He said there were prisoners in cages out there. My uncle, who was at the Pentagon, released all that stuff, classified. I have it all. You know I put it online. Daniel Ellsberg on Balco. Aaron Swartz on chemo. Michael Hastings. Barack Obama freaking put an 85-year-old nun, peace actress I was friends with. Megan Rice in prison turned down the temperature to 50 degrees, and its holding cell was built to hold for 3 weeks, held her in there for nearly 3 years. As she said in the courtroom, thank you, Timothy, for turning down, so I have something else to protest when I get out. Human warehousing, the military industrial, who, these guys right here, our football stadium's named after Mark Hart, who, the private human warehousing, this Wattis, Browning, here at War Profiteer U, when we were the number one school business in the country at that time. Now, the FBI's in here. Look it up. Easy, Fuku. That's funny. She walks by right there. She's the only one that's left here all those years. Marianne. I see my Marianne walking away. All I ever wanted was my peace of mind. Fuku, thanks for your help, Fuku. Thanks for your help, Fuku. Discover. Your conscience is empty. It's my shattered dreams. You're giving me nothing but shattered dreams. But my shattered dreams aren't as empty as your conscience seems to be. Discover. 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 F U K U. Discover. Discover. Price Anderson in 2005. I'm the only one that was protesting. I protested it so hard. I didn't have a YouTube camera then. Well, you're busy bombarding Iraq, spraying white phosphorus over Bo Biden. He's what's depleted uranium, what's fires. They re-upped Price Anderson for 20 years. Set to expire in 2025. Does he know what it is? Does he? I highly doubt he even knows. I've talked to dozens and dozens of politicians. They don't even know what I'm talking about when I talk about Price Anderson. The Immunity Act. You insure the nuclear reactors. The insurance industry won't touch them, and they won't. He's right on that. It's not safe. He's right on that. Economical, clean, green. The promise. One word. And he won't even say it. I'm going to get him to say it. His uncle said it in that speech on national television. We know that these people that have been nuked, it's going to spill over into their children and their kids. I was 3 then. And give them leukemia. Did it? Did it? Did it? No cancer in my father's family. None. How tough that is. You notice that? Until they get cancer. You should see all these tough guys around here. Gung ho about. I used to put the mask on things, and these tough guys around here to take them off. I got a friend. When they get leukemia, you should see them going to the bone marrow center. They ain't such tough guys anymore. So, let's ask Fuku. Let's ask Fuku. What do you think, Fuku? What do you think? That school business is under investigation by the FBI. We were the #1 school business in the country when I was the guy there. I did the due diligence on the reactors. I did the due diligence on all of that right there in that building. How do you go from the #1 school business in the United States? Elon Musk was going to Wharton at the same time we were there. Wharton was our sister school. Wattis School. Wattis. Oh, who's he? COG? From right here? Elon Musk was going to school the same time I was here as a student professor. That was our sister school. Long video. For whom the bell tolls. Discover. F-U-K. Discover. Okay, Fuku. Do you think he knows what Price Anderson is? I'm going to find out. It's my next thing. I'll get to him, and I'm going to talk to him. And I'm going to get him schooled up. I'm going to get him schooled up. So, he's got my vote right now. But he's got to use the F word. If he doesn't use the F word, do you think it's coincidence? Trump never used the F word when he promised me he would. You can talk about Fukushima? It made Fox News. I was right there to him. Did he? No, he met with AB 17 times. Blocked out the windows of Mar-a-Lago. What do you think they're talking about, their golf game? Huh. What do you think, Fuku? What is the greatest crime in human history? And the denial is the greatest mental illness in human history? The cover-up of Fukushima is the greatest crime in human history? The meltdowns? Yeah. So you're all taught, you go along with it, that 3 is more. 3 full well, that's more than 1. Ask Oliver Stone. Ask any of them. Look every time you look it up. 3 plus 3. 3 plus 1. 3 is 1 meltdown at Chernobyl is bigger than 3 meltdowns at Fukushima. The stretch blanch. No, you're right. Chernobyl's the biggest. Santa Susana's the biggest. Mayak's the biggest. 3 Mile Island's the biggest. You're lying, Blanche. You're lying. You're saying that. Fukushima is the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history. And you can put the rats. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage. Good nuclear energy puppets. Good puppets. Good puppets. Good. Obey your nuclear energy master. So we'll see what he says. We'll see what he says. I'll be talking to him soon. But he's an anti-nuclear. Just like his dad and his uncle were. So is Martin Luther King, by the way. So they're mining. Maybe all this work I can get another Chernobyl documentary had. And a bill for $2 million. I ain't gonna quit you. I ain't gonna quit you. Think everybody's supported this historic work. So he says they're mining this spent fuel pools. What's that mean? That means they got bombs on them. They can blow them at any time they want. They can blow them anytime they want. Why is that a big deal? Zirconium fires, Zirc fires. 6 spent fuel pools that blew at Fukushima. 7 counting the common spent fuel pool. That's nothing. That's nothing. There she is. I see my Mary walking away. Usury. You. You're still here.
I'm still here.
You're the last of the Mohicans.
I know.
How do we go from number 1 to the FBI in there? You know about the FBI investigation, I guess.
For Dr.
Chinese Lee.
Yeah.
Where's he?
He's been around this summer off and on.
Oh, he has?
Yeah.
Who's the dean now?
We have an interim dean. Her name's Doris Kaida Stevenson.
How many you work for, deans?
She's number 7.
Dr. Cooley's rolling in his grave, so is Kyle Madsen.
Yeah.
Well, good seeing you, man.
You too.
You'll be able to write a book about this place when you retire.
Write a memoir.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I still can't believe it. You know, everybody got cancer, including me.
Oh, yeah?
I'm fighting leukemia half battle. You know, Dr. Cooley, I used to tell Lee all the time, because they wanted to go, you know, supply chain there, and Cooley'd have none of it. I mean, it's 2 weeks before the program started with Dr. Cooley.
Yeah.
You know, it was his brain. I used to tell Lee, what'd you put in his teeth? Joking! I still can't believe what happened. I'm going to write a book about it one day. It's really sad to me. God, we were beating Wharton and Harvard in those days when I was here.
Yeah.
But, you know, can't have that. Public school beating the privates. So you've been here, what, 20 years?
Going on 28 years.
Unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
Well, good seeing you, man.
Too. Take care.
She's the greatest. Talk about a walkie. Somebody should come interview her. I see my Mary Ann walking away. That's her name. She's the best, man. How many George have since, oh gosh, since Dr. Cooley died? So Lee is around. The FBI interviewed him twice right there. So it's a long video, but it's a good video. God, we should keep it going to 311, Kevin. So I'll be asking right there inside that building. I asked Bobby Kennedy Jr. We talked rivers, you know, 20 years ago, because I used to fight Simplot big time, and that night there. So, what a campus, right? That's all we hear all day. What a beautiful campus. Nuclear U. Nuclear U. So, glad I talked to her. I see my Mary Ann walking away. Mine's on the spent fuel pools. Oh, the Wattis School of Business? Huh. That Wattis? He died of leukemia after they got the contract to build Hoover down. Oh, they built nuclear reactors. They merged with GE. Yeah. He was the CEO of GE. Littlefield was his Thanks, man. I see my man. All they ever wanted was my peace of mind. Staying tuned.